fine, whatever, however long it shouldn't take long. We're just going over my peer review on your paper, right?
Right, right. Yeah.
All right, hit record.
All right, we're recording.
So this
I,
is my
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just going to tell you, I did get your review,
okay.
and I did read it. Um, I went through and made the corrections on the acronyms that I used that I hadn't already defined, because there were several
Hmm.
places where I had used an acronym and I hadn't specified
Right,
what it was. Um,
right.
and then there was something else. Oh, there was a heading that I changed.
Heading, yeah. You just
Uh-huh.
needed to put there. It was just like I guess generic, but
Yeah.
other than that, the paper was to me it was great. It was aligned with the course content. You had your external sources to support the paper. Um, you had a good schools organization and procedures because I had to research what contextual analysis was he was looking for. So it pretty much was just like a breakdown. And your school is kind of special. It's different from public school and
Right.
charter. Yep, because you have like children that are on home base children. Then they're trying to work their way back into regular school. So that was interesting for me to read. Think about how do y'all do that all day?
Yeah, I know.
I
Yeah.
thought I was having it pretty rough, but your school is kind of tough. But like I say, you went through and because the analysis is to tell us everything about it, and you did at it really. The headings were there, the subheadings were there. I didn't really think that assignment required any leadership demonstration. Um, so I
Right.
did, and I put that. I said that it was needed in this task because you didn't have to like have a meeting and lead the meeting or anything like we did in that app store. That app store, you have a lot of quality
Yeah.
because you had to really get people together and do things. So I just kind of said that you didn't need it, but it wasn't like you wouldn't have put it. Because I know you're good about covering all these areas. Um,
Right.
it was written professionally, and then I mentioned those emails that needed to be corrected, and that was one I had too. Do we submit to the assignment Dropbox after we get our peer review? Because when I put my OMA one in the discussion board, Dr. Robertson reviewed that. Go ahead on and drop assignment Dropbox, and I was like, okay, but then nobody had peer review yet, and I was like, I know it's going to get graded in that assignment box. I wanted to make changes if y'all thought I needed to change anything before I Dropbox. So I just kind of I waited on task one, and then once one did peer review it, I added inaccurate peer reviewed it, and she said I needed to add a little more information about my accessibility program at my school, and so I did do that, and then I dropped it. But I do my task two and use it. What do you think we should do about that?
Well, um, I sent mine to um, Dr. Talent
Yes.
to review while you guys were doing a peer review as well. I sent her a copy of it when I submitted it for you to peer review. And so she sent it back some feedback and talked about deleting the last blank page and all that kind of stuff. And so then she said to go ahead and submit it in the Dropbox. So I think we can go ahead and submit in the Dropbox once we've gotten either a peer review and done what we think we need to change, or gotten from a review from our clinical coach.
Okay. Okay.
So I think I would wait until I got at least one of those. In case, like you said, there's something that needs to be changed, you can change it before you put it in there.
Right.
But I
Because
think once you've got at least one of those, it'd be okay.
yeah, because I checked my grades and on all of our assignments so far, good on those. But I know if not, how the assignment would be graded if it was graded more detailed.
Right. I
Or
think
like,
once it's been peer reviewed, and then once your clinical coach has peer reviewed it for you, I don't think anybody's going to look at it again except just to say that yes, you got a clinical supervisor review and you got a peer review.
so you do have to get the supervisor review too. You have to get both.
I don't know that you have to get the clinical supervisor's review, but you do have to have a peer review. So I think as
Right.
long as you've submitted it and you've gotten a peer review, until you turn it into task stream, nobody else is going to look at it. When you
Gotcha.
turn it into task stream, whoever's managing that end of it will read it for accuracy and see if you made any changes that were suggested and that kind of thing. But I think we're pretty much left to kind of manage ourselves and each other as far as turning it in for grade on Blackboard.
Once I sent something to Miss Talent to review for me, she sent it back and said, "Did you get Miss Sumner to look at it? Like that's who I should be sending it to instead of her." So I just kind of shy away from work to do, I guess. But it's this time she's actually our instructor, so we don't need to send it to Karen Summers anymore, right?
Right. And
Not
see, I ran into the situation where if I sent something to Miss Sumner, I struggled to get it back. So, and that's what I told Dr. Talent. I said, I'm not hearing back from her. I mean,
yeah,
she's sending me something that she needs as far as, I need for you to do this, that, or the other thing. But if I sent her something and asked, I didn't really get a good response back. And as a matter of fact, there's a couple of times I sent something, I didn't get a response at all, still have not. And we're no longer in the class. So,
I know.
so I was like, well,
The reason I sent mine to Miss Talent was because I wasn't getting any response from Miss Sumner. So I just felt like we were great together as a team. I was trying to
right,
guide you back on track, and that we were helping each other. And once I did get the task stream and I was starting to put my assignments in, they were proficient. So just felt like we knew what we were doing and we had a handle on it. But Mr.
yeah,
Robertson seems a lot more in tune to us and making
yeah,
sure we get good. And I've been to a couple of his Zoom meetings, and he's really informative. So I'm gonna stick with doing that on Tuesdays. I'm gonna stick with just, and you can ask him any questions you want, and good
right.
to email, good communicator. So I'm just gonna try to stick with that. And
Yeah. Well, and he seems to answer the questions on the discussion board in the Blackboard shell
right,
too, whereas Miss Sumner sometimes would take quite a while to answer even those. And
yeah.
so I was like, God, I guess we are supposed to be kind of self-sufficient here, I guess,
No,
because
but still,
she wasn't responding. I was like, oh my goodness, okay, well, I hope we're doing what we need to.
it's called Connecticut. Connecticut means even if I sent you an email, you're supposed to respond.
Right, right. I
But
know.
but then I was going to finish. I just had a couple of things. The narrative was logical and organized. I said that it had headers and you used you clearly presented the information and it was easy to locate throughout the narrative. And just that one Wikipedia that the reference that the instructor also told you to get off. But your reference just everything looked good to me.
Yeah.
So I think you make those little minor corrections, and we're ready to jump on OMA 2. Now, I'm just going to say this, and I know I'm being recorded, but I'm going to stick with you with my assignments because I can't wait till someone puts theirs up for me to try to go back to peer review. I've already did discussion 3. I'm working on 4 right now because there's a lot of assignments in that discussion board that needs to be done. And then I'm doing
Right.
I've attended 2 IP meetings this last week. So that I think that's discussion 7 in week 7, but I have to go ahead and do it now because everything's right here fresh on my mind and doing it. And I'm taking pictures of the invitation and they're trying to get me a copy of, at the end of the night, sign a form saying who was there, the regular ed teacher, the parent. And so we're going to try to get the parent off and I'm going to use that as an artifact because make sure this time I have a lot of artifacts. I think we need to make sure of that on particular task or this is part of this course. So
Right.
I need a person I can go in and look at their work and peer review it, get it done, and be finished with it, and keep on, keep moving to the
Right,
next.
right. Yeah, I just submitted discussion 3 as well too,
Okay.
and so I've got a question on the OMA 2. I've read this thing like 50 times, and every time I read it, I'm like, okay, well maybe it's this, and then I'm like, no, maybe it's this over here. So I know it was saying something about we were gonna like do something for curriculum and that kind of thing, but in the OMA task 2, is it asking us to get together some professional development for staff and stuff that is going to help student achievement, or is it asking for a program for the students to help student achievement and giving teachers and staff training on what we're doing for the student? Because I was a little bit unclear as to whether I'm supposed to be coming up with a professional development plan, or if I'm supposed to be coming up with a curriculum for the students and training teachers on that. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, and I was more so thinking about, because I haven't finished it. I started on it a little bit, and then I got, I changed schools, so my administrators aren't available as handy as they were at my other schools. So I'm having you have to request everything, even if you want dry erase markers. You have to go through instructional. Even if you want to make an appointment with your assistant principal, it's just like they're so busy they don't have time for you.
Right.
Thinking that we're developing a curriculum for the students. I don't think we're doing a professional development.
Okay. Well, I was looking at it, and it says, and I emailed Dr. Talent just to be sure, and then I put a question in for
Robert.
Yeah, but it says a detailed plan for professional development activities and resources within budget to address these concerns. So is it the curriculum concerns where we developed a curriculum and now we've got to have some professional development for the staff to understand how to deliver the curriculum? Or, because I'm confused on that, because I thought we were supposed to be doing something for the instructional capacity needs for the student.
Right.
But then it says a detailed plan for professional development activities, and I'm like, well, students don't do professional development, staff does.
Yeah, right. So, and that's probably because we always hate professional development because we never really gain anything from it.
Mm-hmm.
Having to do it, and now maybe it's two parts to it though. Maybe it's both.
Okay. Well, and I put that in my question to Dr. Talent too. I said, I had to come up with this past week a curriculum for our students who are in academic support, because we don't have a curriculum for academic support.
Like
right. Well, that's what it's supposed to be, but we don't have highly qualified teachers in our computer labs. They are TAs and things like that. It's not a highly qualified teacher. So we had to have something for them to be able to say, okay, well, here's the curriculum, here's what you need to be working on, and have a highly qualified teacher as the teacher of record for that, so that if there are questions, we can work it out so that a highly qualified teacher can come in and give some instruction if needed. Well, I did all of that, and we started students on it last Wednesday, I think was the first day that students actually logged into it. And so I can work off of that, because I developed it not only for regular ed students, but for EC students too, which is what this is talking about. You got to, include EC students.
Right.
But as far as professional development plan, I guess I could draw on the fact that we are doing some ongoing professional development amongst ourselves on how to use the Canvas program that I actually put that curriculum in. So other than that, I'm not real sure what I'm supposed to be doing for that part of it.
Will you be able to Zoom in on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Because we can ask Mr. Robinson, because I like for them to tell us so that wrong we can say, but we got to the horse's mouth because I'm not sure. I'm scared with this because some of it is just kind of like, for one, to even develop a curriculum for after school or for tutoring is so hard because children are lacking in certain areas, and you just really, it's hard to pinpoint. So
Right.
when you're
See,
trying to
that's
support,
kind of what that's
you know,
that's kind of what I did. I did a like an overview of study skills, how to read for content understanding, I did some test taking skills.
mhm,
I just kind of drew from everything I think they might could benefit from, and I made a big curriculum out of it with some activities that they had to do and a booklet that went along with it. And I was just grasping at straws because, like, our kids come to us with so many issues.
right,
Most of them are not on grade level, but they
right,
haven't been on grade level for quite a few of their scholastic
right,
years. So,
right. And
they really need study skills and things like that. So that's kind of where I was. But as far as professional development for us on that, I really hadn't thought that far.
where did you get something like that from? You know?
I know. You're like, oh, okay, I'm not sure what I'm doing here.
Yeah. And every group of children is different, so you just take what you have and do
Yeah,
what you got. So we're gonna ask.
that's right. I'll be on there Tuesday, so I will ask that question Tuesday
Okay.
and
Okay.
see what he says about that. Because it may just be that that's just in addition to, if you need some professional development in that area, that would be above and beyond. Maybe
Yeah.
not necessary, but above and beyond. You know
But
what I mean?
that we can present to our staff though, so that they can be better trained on, you know what I'm saying, how to even, because at our school kids are on a waiting list for tutoring, and I don't understand. I don't, but
Right,
that's the way they're doing things. Because if you need tutoring, you need it.
right,
You shouldn't be on a waiting list for that. You should be able to get it, even if we took a portion of the instructional day and made that time for those students with the teachers, and that
right,
development would help those teachers that was not doing tutoring, that could put that in their instructional day, because you could do it 30 minutes in the morning, and I do snack and learn in the afternoons with my bus riders. Wait 40 minutes before their bus comes, so they have a packet, and it's third grade math foundational skills like multiply, divide, just for that 30 minute time they can have a bag of chips and a juice, but you can't talk. All you can do
right.
is packet. It's snack and learn. It's called snack and learn. And part of it, and it doesn't require somebody's mom to pick up. It doesn't require, you have to have transportation back and forth, or none of that. And it keeps the behavior down. And these boys that are running around the room are really smart at math. They're able to flex their muscles, and they love it.
Yeah,
And every day they have a snack and learn every day, every day. Got some volunteers and mentors in the school to buy in on snacks or snack and learn for us. So it's done developed into a great program. That's something that none of the other teachers are doing that I can
right.
share, but I don't know. We did it at my old school in the library at the end of the day, but it was like an after school kind of program for kids that we call them bubble kids, yellow kids. They're almost there, but
Right.
some teachers think, I'm tutoring my kids. I'm tutoring because they're trying to get their scores where they want them to be. So they're just doing certain kids or specific kids, when all of them kind of that extra push.
Right,
But
right.
only 2 children out of 25 in my classroom on grade level.
Yeah.
So that right there is a challenge for me. 19 of them I think I can pass to proficiency. That's what I try to do. I sit back and just look at the whole pictures. About 6 of them, 2 of them are EC. She's pulling them out so much that they can't even understand grade level. And when they come back, they're going, what are we doing? Miss Martin, I don't know what to do. And I'm having to I'm still finishing up, or my kids might be working in groups. And I just don't have the time to give them the reteach that I just taught, because a lot of it is in whole group is them participating, us going over something, and then me giving them a chance to try it all by themselves. So now they're
Mhm.
working in groups, and then I give them an exit. Now that's when they really try it all by themselves. Then I take that information, maybe 3 questions, and I can say, okay, I need to make small groups from these exit tickets. So tomorrow I start in the morning with small groups from those afternoon exit tickets.
Right.
The kids that did not show me they could handle it on their own, I'm back with them at a table, whiteboard, on personal whiteboard, what you have to do. So I'm modeling. So those EC kids still just get, and our EC teacher, the teacher that comes, she told me they have to get their services. I'm sorry. We were taking a weekly unit exam. She told me she don't ever keep them from going for their services. That exam this is a state test. They have to come. So I'm like, how do I help these students? I can't.
Right.
There's no time. It's not enough time in the day. She pulls them right before EL comes back and gets one right before, and that child comes back. Says, "What are y'all doing?" Loud. She just whole class doesn't have a clue of what we're doing. And I'm like, I can't stop her. The ones that I will already help came in the room to try to show her these. Get a couple of people to help her, but she's really not getting a fair chance at grade level work. She's not. And then she told me, I don't want to go back with them. I want to stay with you. I want to stay here so I can learn. And my heart just, I'm like, oh God. So I don't even know what to do when it comes down really for EC and learning. Because tutoring them is not going to happen because they're going to pull them out.
Right.
I just don't know. I don't know.
It just
I'm praying because the child wants to stay in the class and learn. And the EC teacher, and I was like, well, what do you do when you go? And so, and I asked, when I first started, I asked the EC teacher, I says, do you need me to send you anything, my lesson plan, anything to work with? Oh, no, I already have something that we're working on. I said, okay. So every day she gets pulled, 2 girls, they get pulled every day for 45 minutes. And that's my whole group, plus some of I do a quick tip fluency, and then we do a application together. We got it on the whiteboard. I've got PowerPoints that they're writing on the right. Okay, we're ready for problem sets. Let's go. You can use a partner in problem. They come in the room and they're like, "What are y'all doing?" I'm like, "Oh God, I gotta
start all over." Looks like they could work with you to schedule their time at a different time. You know what I mean? But
they got to see other students. Their schedule is what.
Oh, I know.
It's hard when they feel like, just like yesterday, I was in an IEP meeting because our school holds children that are 39% in the classroom. I mean, out of the classroom, 39% out. So 61% they're in a EC room with a custom design for them individually in a smaller. So those children annual IEPs came up, but a regular ed grade level teacher has to still be in the meeting.
Right.
These are not my EC children. These are the children that come to our school. Our school is not self-contained. It just has the all-day program. It took over another school's students. So they closed the EC department down at one elementary school close by. And so those children are in our EC department. So I have to go to those EC meetings. And I was in a meeting for 3 hours Friday morning from 7 to 10. But it was like 10:05 when I left. Mommy was running late. Miss Jones, Dr. Jones, the LEA was a little bit behind. And someone watched my class. Class starts at 7:50. So from 7:50 to 10 o'clock, we're not getting any instruction. They had the morning work that was forward. And so these are the kids that are going to make a difference in the test when they take it. These students' grades are not going to count. But you took all of this teacher from, and you expect for the kids to perform, or you expect for to work a miracle for these kids. And then we had a math at 1 o'clock, from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And a math, I didn't get to teach. I didn't re-teach from my small groups that morning, nor did I get to teach my regular block that evening. It's so frustrating as a teacher not to be able to have it. And so we're going to have a grade level meeting. The 4th graders are teachers because we're concerned. We're all concerned. And over the weekend, we're supposed to write down what our concerns are. And Monday and Tuesday, we're going to come together as a grade level and we're going to talk about solutions to our concerns. And then we want to meet with our principal because we have a school improvement coach that just comes in and just everything she has to do is so much more important than us. So my main concern, I don't have enough time for instruction. That's just it. And if I can teach, so at lunch I put on videos for multiplication, flow videos, so I don't even let them in the cafeteria. That's what I come back in the class while they're eating. It'll happen, can't happen, but this whole OMA mixed me up.
Yeah.
I can't be able to develop anything you see because I'm already feeling like my hands are tied, but I'm gonna try.
Well, but when you guys get together and develop your little, what are you going to do to solve some of your issues? That can be your developing a curriculum for those students and including the EC population. And, that can be what your OMA 2 is, I would think.
Okay.
Because you're trying to develop a curriculum strategy anyway. Even if you're not developing curriculum, you're developing a strategy. Because you got to get the curriculum going somehow or another, even with the pullouts, even with the AP meetings, even with all the other distractions that happen. And that will require some professional development on your end as well. Y'all will have to get together and decide, this is the procedures that we want to do, and this is how we want to present the instruction, and this is what we want to follow. So it will take some professional development. So you need to document all of that, all the meetings that you guys are having and what you present to your principal, because I think that will count as well.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I need to tell you that so you can remind me, because I'm just thinking I dread having to do it, but now that I need to do it as a purpose, so I'll make sure. I can.
Yeah. So, Lord.
Okay. Well, I've been talking to you, and we're gonna meet. We don't meet again this Wednesday. We meet the week after.
Yes, because this Wednesday is Valentine's Day. But I think we're still meeting Tuesday with our instructor, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then, of course, if we decide, if we all decide we want to meet before the following Wednesday, we can meet. But otherwise, it'll be that following Wednesday then instead of the 14th. So everybody can take a Valentine's Day break.
This is your peer. So who did you peer review?
I haven't peer reviewed anybody yet because it's just you and me that have submitted. And so you did mine, and Gwen did yours. So Gwen hasn't turned in one, and Demetria hasn't turned in one. So when one of those submits something, I'll do theirs.
Okay. Because that's hard for you because you're ready to move on, and you're still gonna have to go back and. What I'm saying, do that one more assignment.
Yeah.
So,
well, I keep going in every day to see who's done what. So,
some days and I try to, what I'm saying, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Work plus lesson plans plus trying to figure out each week what I'm gonna do to push these kids because my kids are so low and their behavior just now got in place and it's already been 7 weeks. So now I need to really get a program going. I got the snack to learn in the afternoons. I just got to get that city coach out of my day. So I can
right.
Yeah, I just want to be able, I'm just saying it's not that hard. Not for me.
Right.
It's not. And once you get the children to understand the way and the way they're running, they just adapt and they just get into it. And when they start learning, they love it. They love to learn.
They do. Yeah. Once they start seeing that they're capable of doing the things that you're requesting of them, they really get on board with it. It's just, and that's the way mine are too. They've been told and conditioned to understand that they're failures and they can't do this and they can't do that and that thing. Once I give them some things that they can do, it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna be nice in Miss Brackett's class because I don't want to get kicked out. I don't want to miss out on this stuff because it's kind of fun. Even if it is math and I don't like math, I like the math. So, but yeah, that's me. I don't mind the teaching. The teaching's not the issue. It's the meetings and the being out. And the minute that I step out of my room, my kids lose their composure. And they get in trouble.
Yes.
They do because they just can't maintain without me sitting there looking at them. And I'm like, only thing I can say is I'm the one that gave them some success. And so they want to do for me. They don't care about anybody else. So somebody else steps in there and they lose their minds.
Right.
Get where they are.
Yesterday. And then when I come back, my whole day is tore up because I'm trying to get them back in shape.
Yeah.
because I wasn't there in the morning. And she cut my classical music off. I play classical music in the morning, and they know that. In the morning when you come in, quiet. You can talk, but you have to whisper because that's the whole tone of classical music is doing that for them. That's
Right.
not the pop music they're used to listening to. So now they're trying to figure out why, but it's calming. It works for babies too. So they're calm, and then I come in. Well, I had to cut that off because they were loud. That's what helped calm them down.
Yeah.
So, all right. That quick one. We have to go so I don't forget. So I can take it to our meeting on Tuesday.
Okay.
It's a better way for us. And like you said, that could be some professional development.
Yeah, I'd use all of that. Yeah.
Okay, dear. Well, thank you for helping me with this period.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Send me an email with the link, okay?
I will.
Thank you, Tammy.
Right. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.